alone, and you wonder how far you go. With every step on that road that you take, Allah knows, Allah knows. No matter what inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows, Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows, Allah knows. When you find that special someone, feel your whole life is barely begun. You can walk on the moon, shout it to everyone. Allah knows, Allah knows.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana ba'da ma matana wa ilayhi an-nushur. We give thanks to Allah who has made today a reality for every one of us, who has made it easier for us to wake after our slumber yesterday. We glorify Him, we appreciate Him, we thank Him for being alive. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is Abdurrahman bin Abdul Karim Abu Mubinat, live on the African Portal Radio TV International on Jumaat Tonic. All over the world, joining us for another episode today on Jumaat Tonic. Welcome, and kindly go to our website www.theafricanportal.co.za, and also on our Facebook page, The African Portal. Also, you can check us on our YouTube page, The African Portal Media House. Those are the places where you can watch us live, and you can share our program. You like it, you subscribe, then you share it.
Catch a glimpse of paradise, and you see your child in the first place. Allah knows, Allah knows.
Inshallah, this morning we're going to have our guest from Nigeria in person of Sheikh Malam Lukman Kharashi Olalika, who will be online with us to discuss. It will be a kind of continuation. If you remember, in the last 2 weeks, we were discussing about the Islamic perspective on Janaza. So whereby our Sheikh helped us to explain in detail, but we could not complete the topic. So that is why we say it's a kind of an episode program whereby we'll be having a kind of continuation of the show. So that is why. So we'll still have the part 2 of Islamic perspective on Janaza. So, and our lecturer, our guest for today who will be discussing it is Sheikh Lukman Kharashi Olalika, so who happens to be the proprietor of Kharashi Institute of Islamic and Arabic Study, Igba Olunloyo Ibadan in Nigeria. So inshallah, it will be online with us to connect with us, inshallah. As time goes on, as we know that today is Friday, I greet all our viewers, all our listeners all over the world. I greet you with sincere greeting by saying, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as we know that today is Jumaat, whereby all Muslims will be ready to perform Salatul Jummah, whereby all Muslims will have to go to, irrespective of what you are doing, when it's time, you have to attend the Salat, you have to observe Salatul Jummah, as Prophet Muhammad and Allah recommended it to us that we must pray. When it's time for Salatul Jummah, We must leave whatever we are doing at that moment. Either you are busy at that moment, you have to leave it and go to observe the salat. That's what Allah says in the Quran. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also encouraged us to do the same. So that is why we Muslims, we don't just follow our own idea. No, we follow what is being stated, what is being recommended by Allah in the Quran. That is why we don't just do whatever we like, but we follow the rules and regulation of Allah. That is why we are Muslim. That is why we follow the rudiment of religion of Islam. So that is why we need to adhere to the rules and the regulation of our creator, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you were there last week when we were discussing the issue of Islamic perspective on janaza, so our guest lecturer explained to us in details what is meant by janaza, which is a singular Arabic meaning for burying somebody. When somebody, the rite, Islamic rite that is being observed on the corpse, I mean on the dead Muslims. So now the plural, he explained to us that the plural of that janaza is janais. So janais is the plural of that. And he explained a lot of things to us, that before somebody is dead, so maybe that person first falls sick. So he explained to us that the first step when somebody falls sick is to do what? Is to pay a kind of visitation to the sick person. So we don't just ignore when somebody is sick. It's the responsibility, it's the right of a good Muslim to visit the sick person, either he or she is a Muslim or not. Is the right, is our responsibility to visit the sick person. Likewise, he says whenever we go to visit a sick person in the hospital, the right thing to do is to do what? Is to pray for the sick person, so that he or she will have a kind of total recovery. Because we know that somebody who is sick needs our prayer, needs our affection, needs constant visitation, so that by seeing us, we make him or her to feel comfortable and to feel happy that is being taken care of. So that is part of what we are to do to our fellow Muslims and non-Muslims who are sick. So we must try to visit them. We must try to pray for them whenever we go to see them, wherever they are. Likewise, he also mentioned that do not engage him or her into too much talks. The person that is sick, he or she may not have appetite to talk too much when he's in the hospital or wherever he is, where he's receiving medication. So what you are saying, in essence, is that as a Muslim, we must try to do what? Must try to pay the sick person. We must pay him a visit, and we must not bombard him with a lot of talks, a lot of discussions. Yeah, we must not bombard our sick fellows, our sick persons. We must not bombard them with a lot of talks when we are with them. So likewise, visitors, when we go to visit them, we must not stay too long while visiting the sick persons. We must not stay too long. That is why in some hospital they don't they give you a little time. They say, hey, you can't stay more than 5 minutes. You may leave. So they are trying to do what they are trying to reduce the stress, the prayer on the sick person. That is why they are trying to do that. So as we are going to visit those sick person, so likewise there are some who needs our assistance that we must see them. So that is why some they say frequent visitation must be avoided unless it is necessary. If you are going to if you are going to hospital to visit the sick person, so we must be very careful with constant visitation. It may be sorry, so I'm still reaching our guest lecturer, so that's what is happening. So we'll still come back to us. So what we are saying in essence is that our so the what our lecturer discussed last week was the frequent visitation must be avoided unless it is necessary. So when also he explained to us that when one breathing is last year, so it means when that person has kicked the bucket, when he has given up the ghost, the first thing we need to do is to do what is to cover his or her eyes. When somebody dies, the first thing is to cover his or her eyes. Then, so after that, the next step is to make sure that it's being clothed. It means being shrouded. So we need to bath for him or her. We cover him and the likes. So those are the things we need to do during when somebody dies. Also, crying during the death, as he has explained to us that if there is Islam doesn't forbid crying. So we during when somebody dies, our loved one, our beloved one, whenever they give cry. But be very careful with this when we are trying to curse ourselves, when we are trying to tear our cloth, when we are trying to beat ourselves, to cause crisis for ourselves during crime. So that is what Islam doesn't support. So what we need to do is to do what is to try to engage ourselves, is to try to engage ourselves in that what Allah has ordered us to do. Inshallah, our lecturer so is coming online. Then we'll start the show now. Inshallah, Bekuduratullah. So the topic is the continuation of the last 2 weeks program, which is that is Islamic perspective on Janasa, part 2. That is what our lecturer will be discussing with us today as we are engaging him on the show now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So sorry for keeping you waiting. So may Allah accept it as an act of ibadah to us. So it's like a time difference is the one causing issues with us here. So I thought you understand that okay, it was 10 a.m. in South African time and it's 9 a.m. in Nigerian time. So our listeners and our viewers, sorry for that delay bringing our guests onto the live show now. So you are welcome to the program. As I've been explaining to people, so we're discussing about Islamic perspective on Janaza, which our lecturer is going to continue the second episode of the topic. So inshallah, so our lecturer that I've said earlier on is Sheikh Luqman Harashi. So inshallah, bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All thanks and adorations are due to Allah Azza wa Jal. We praise Him, we glorify Him. We beseech Allah to shower His countless blessing on our noble Prophet Muhammad
sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
his household, his companions, and the entire Muslims till the day of accountability. Our listeners at home, our viewers, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
On this program, sorry for the lateness that happened this morning. It's due to some unforeseen circumstances. As we were discussing the other time about the Int'L was Salatu alayhi wa Dafni, that is an issue relating to Salatu Janais, observing Salat on him, shrouding, and picking prayer for him. I think the next stage we have to discuss, well, we have discussed a lot of steps, but not to waste time, we'll not be able to recapitulate this morning. So the next stage is after it has been confirmed that somebody is dead. So we have talked about Telkin and the likes. But after it has been confirmed that the person is dead, we said, we are expected to close his two eyes. I told you, if it has been late, you can stretch his two
toes, big toes,
fingers, the biggest there. So you can stretch the two. The veins there connect the eye close. And after that, the next thing is we make bath. After we have made announcement that we declare the person dead. I told us it is not all that Islamic that you go on air because it is not ceremony. So the next thing is that we bath him, ritual bath. The first thing after it has been confirmed dead, we cover him. I've said a lot. So the next stage is we make ritual bath on him. I told her that this bath is single bath, except that it has different names based on different conditions we are observing it for. So this one is called Ghusl al-Mayyit. Ghusl al-Mayyit. So Ghusl al-Mayyit, and we are to bath the dead body of a Muslim. Except the person that dies at the war front. Islamic war front is what I mean. That is, if perchance there was a religious war, that people raise war against the believers. There is war between the believers and non-believers. They attack Muslims. The at war front, if somebody dies or people die, anybody that dies at war front, Islamic war front, I mean, not ordinary war, not civil war. This time around, we talk of religious war. If it happened and somebody dies there, such people will not bath for them. Whether you saw the alley, will not even observe salat on them. But you'd follow Fiyabi, will even bury them with their clothes on them, with the wounds, with the clothes soaked of blood or whatever stain that is on it. We'll bury them like that without being bathed for, without observation of salah on them. We just bury them like that. Why? It is because the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Lam Yughsal Qatla Uhud. People that died at the war front at Uhud, the Messenger of Allah did not bath for them. Walam Yusalli alayhi, and he did not observe Salah. This Salah to Janaza was not observed on them. So it is confirmed that any Muslim dies. Apart from that, we have to observe Salah on them. If somebody dies upon a sickness, so we have to bath for such a purpose. And to conduct the bath, to start our the first thing that we cover is nakedness. You don't expose the person you want to bath for, because you want to bath, you are not expose his privacy. No. We have to cover his private part, be it man or women. And for information, it must be bathed for, if it is a man, man for man, woman for woman. For no reason, a man will bath a dead woman. For no reason, a man will bath for a woman will bath for dead man, except their husband and wife. Except their husband and wife. Even don't allow daughter to bath for the corpse of his father. It is not allowed. And when a baby is above age 6, the father is not allowed to bath for him again, for her again. I don't know what I'm picking points.
Inshallah.
So, men for men, woman for woman, woman for women. And more importantly, husband is to bath the wife. Wife is to bath the husband. Children to bath for themselves. That is, the male children will bath their father, the female children will bath their mother. That is more important. The relationship is more of what's worthy in bathing for one another. Except the person has a written document that when I die, so no person should bath for me. So no person should pray on me. Whatever he has written down, we have to follow it if it is halal, if it is something that is Islamic. So if somebody writes it before he has written an article, when he dies, so Sheikh should bath for him, so Sheikh should pray on him. We have to allow that Sheikh to bath for him, even though his wife is around. So like that. But we don't allow man against woman, woman against man. It is not allowed. So it is wrong. You tell me, it's only man that has the knowledge. That's rubbish. That imam should not bow for the wife of another person, even though she's died. It is not allowed. Instead of that, if there is no woman that can bow for a dead woman, the men around will now perform tayammum, dry ablution. They just place their hand on sand, they dust it, they wipe over his face, and the two palms to the wrist. That's all. And that has taken care. And we then observe Salah. I don't know whether you are getting me.
Inshallah.
And the same thing for man. So if it is a man that dies in the city of women, so to put, in the midst of women, there's no man there. So they will only perform tayammum for him. For no reason, a non-relation man should not bath ghusl janaza, that is the ritual bath for the corpse, should not observe it for a woman, a non-related woman. The same thing for man. Islam has respect for our privacy as such. So, the first thing is you cover him. You don't open him completely because you want to bath for him or her. You have to cover the privacy. So the private part rather, coupled with the fact that it is only women that are there with women, or the husband is bathing for his wife, or the wife is bathing for his husband, for her husband, or women to women, or men to men. The next thing is yurfa'u qalilan. You have to let the head side be raised a bit. So it's better we are using the kind of stretcher that the head will be raised a bit. The hospital stretcher that we can raise that head position. Please, you press stomach a bit, you press it little, you press it so that if there is anything, if there is any dirt in here, maybe that's of sickness or whatever, by the time you are pressing, those things can come out from his private part or from his nose. From here, you can see those dead things. Then before you start bathing, it is necessary for the person that want to do the bath to wear gloves. Wear your glove, 2 gloves. And it's better we have 2 or 3 people bathing in person. The one that will be doing major bathing, the one that will be changing the position, that when you want to turn in right, left, lift, and the other person that will be pouring water. So at least 3, it can be 2 if you are using tap water, that you can also, it depends. But one person is not enough. So at least 2 or you have 3. So they all wear glove, especially the one that will do the major bathing. So after they are with glove, they have pressed the stomach a bit. So the next thing is, if they don't have a glove, they can use clothes to roll. You can tie clothes around their hands, something related to glove anyway. Then the next thing is they clean his private part. So they pour water into the private part. When you are pouring water into the private, that doesn't mean you open everything. Under the clothes, you pour water to the private part and you use hands to clean the private part. So if there is anything there, you clean it 3 times. After the 3 times, you see there is still something coming out. That means you have to bath that area more than 3 times. So as you have pressed before you start, little press, you wash that area with water and using the glove with your hand to clean, to remove the stain 3 times. Okay. Having done that, you wash your hand or you remove the 2 gloves and change it with another glove. As it mentioned by Sheikh Sori Al-Ushemi, some other scholars did not say you change it, so it's not compulsory, but it depends. If you know those gloves are stained so much, you have to change them so that you don't continue using the stain on other parts of the body. Then after that, you now perform ablution. So be it man or woman, the first thing to be done is you wash the private part. Then you start with the ablution. Ablution as normal ablution. You wash in every part of ablution side. That's as we used to do our ablution. Normally, you do it like that. So, but you don't pour much water in his mouth and his nose. You just pour water on your hand, use your hand to rinse the mouth and the nose. Not that you pour much water, so that you will not just be putting water in the cups. So having performed the ablution completely, or when you get to the leg, you can suspend the washing of the leg. So the ablution completely, or you suspend the leg. I mean, you wash till you perform ablution till wiping of the head with air. 2 years, and you leave the leg, you suspend the leg, and the washing of the leg. After that, you now wash the head. The head, you pour water on the head, twisting the ear with water. You wash it with the face, with the beard, with the neck position. You wash that one 3 times. let's say I forget, if it is a woman, you first of all plait her hair into 3. You plait her hair into 3. If the one she made, if the plaiting of hair she made is something that you can unplait easily, and you just make 3, you plait it into 3. So that will have been the better. That is Islamic, and it is more sunnah that you make just 3 plates. You plait her hair into 3. But if the one on her is too much, is enormous for you to unplate, you want to unplate that and the plate another one, that will take you time, you can leave it. Now, you pour water on the head. You wash the head with the face, with hair up to the neck side 3 times. That will be after ablution. First thing is cleaning of the private part. The second thing is ablution. After ablution, wash the head with hair together to the. You wash it, you pour water on it very well. You wash that one 3 times. After that one is done, so you now wash the part of the body. You can divide the body into 2, right side and the left side. You use the chest to divide that person into 2. That means straight part. You divide the front and the back side, right side as one side. So the second side, you start with the right side. You now have to pour water to wash the right side to the leg. Wash it to the leg. Leg that you spend the other time, to wash it to the right now. To wash it to the leg 3 times. The hand, the armpit, the back, the front, the chest, the breast, everything on the right part. So you wash it 3 times. You turn it to the second side, the same 3 times. If that is done, you have completed the bathing. But there is something I omitted.
Okay.
The water to be used could be divided into 2. 1, you make cedar leaf. There is a leaf that we call cedar leaf. I don't know what is called in English. Cedar leaf. It is common to the Arabs, but we also have it in Nigeria. People grow it and it grows. We have it around Islamic wars. People are growing it and it grows around. We call it cedar. Cedar. You cut the leaf. You squeeze it. You mix it with water. You squeeze it so that it will turn the water as if you add soap. You will be seeing the foam on the water. It is not that you just cut cedar and you put the cedar in water. No, you mix it. It's as if you twist that water with that cedar. You extract the water in the leaf. You mix it. So you put the leaf in the water. You mix it. You shake it. You squeeze it. When you squeeze it very well, it turns that water to like a soapy water. You can see foams. So you use that one to wash the body. It is sunnah. The Messenger of Allah told the women that her daughter, when she died in the house of Uthman bin Affan, because she was the wife of Uthman bin Affan, the Messenger of Allah told them that you should have cedar, that they should have cedar leaf. So the way to add it, that you mix it, it will work as if you soap. That's the first side. You can use that to bath the body a time or 2 times. Then the other water, you had what is called kafra. We call it kafura in Arabic, and it's commonly known to be kafra. Kafra. It is sold around.
Hello? Hello? Are you still there?
Try.
Yeah, sorry.
You can start with the second.
Are you still there?
The last one
Okay.
will be the one you mix with with kafra. So that means out of 3 times you bath the body, you use the first one, first and second, the third one, or the other way, or the first 2 with kafra, not the last one with see-through anyhow. But it's better because the see-through is serve as soap. You can use it for the first 2 times to wash the body. The bathing of the body is completed. Let me repeat. You start, you don't uncover the corpse. All the time, make sure you cover him up. You put clothes on the private part. It is to our surprise today, you see some people, they put the corpse naked and they'll still be covering it. It can't go there. You want people to be seeing the naked of your parents or your wife? It's not making sense. I don't know what you are covering in the bathing. All these are not Islamica. So you must cover the corpse all the time. You cover the private part. Under that cover, under that cloth you spread on the private part, you wash the private part 3 times. After you have cleansed the stomach a bit, you wash it 3 times. You change the glove you wear, if necessary. You start with ablution, normal ablution, and that ablution should be 1-1, not 3 times, 1-1. Okay. You wash the hand, the mouth, you rinse the mouth, you rub the nose, then you wash the face. Normal ablution anyway. After the ablution, you have to pour much water on the head. On the head. You pour water on the head. That all this could be with the water with see-through. You wash the head very well. You twist the ear. You wash the face, the ear, up to the neck 3 times. After that, you now divide the body into 2, right and the left. That right and the left, you consider the front and the back, armpit, the hand, the leg, the thigh, and everything. Wash it to the toes 3 times on the right. You can make it, 2 with see-through. 2 with see-through. So the last one, that will make the third one, you can now make it with, with kafra. When you do that, you have completed the bathing. If you see that the water is smudged, there's no problem. So that the water will not be disturbing when you are to shrunk the cups. Let's not forget, when you want to do this, it's better we have a designated place that we can bath our dead person there. But if you don't have, you have to use a high level something that is high, like table. If you don't have scratcher, it is not convenient to be making this bathing on the low ground. It will be very difficult. So you have to use an high level something like scratcher or a table or something of the nature. You can't put it on the mat, not on the mattress, not on the carpet. All this will give you, will make things difficult. After this is done, we are through with the bathing. That is what is called Ghusl Janaza. But let's not forget, in the course of bathing, as you were bathing, you can still be touching the stomach. You can be pressing it little by little. So that if there are other things there, those things will be coming. By the time you notice things are still coming out, you rinse them. That is why you can bath for the cups more than 3 times. If necessity that you bath more than 3, you can make it 5, you can make it 7. It depends on how dirt and things are on the body of the corpse. When we are through with this bathing, and perhaps in the course of bathing, you are bathing, you see that the more you bath, the more some stains and dirt are coming out. You can stop that area with starting sensible cutting. You can use it to stop it. Perhaps you have bathed for 5 times, you still observe that some are coming out, you can stop it with a big, maybe put cotton into the nose. If you see it is through nose that these things are coming out, you can stop, put it in this nose. It can be from the anus, you can stop it. It depends. So when all these are done, so the next thing, then if it is like that, you see that the more you bath, the more the dead things are coming. Then it necessitates you stopping it with cotton or something. You can now re-perform the ablution. You can now re-perform the ablution. So now, the way you perform, like when you perform the ablution, you bath 2, 3, 4, 5 times, like I've said. Now, after that is done, so the next thing is, before you should, you are allowed to pour perfume, to put perfume on the body. You can put it at its place of sajda, organs of prostration, on the forehead, on the nose, on the 2 palms, on the knees, and at the feet, 2 feet. You can put the perfume there. Even Sheikh Salah said you can still put the perfume in his anus. Nothing wrong. You can put it in his armpit and other places, but more importantly, the place of sajda. Because there is one hadith that the Prophet says you should apply perfume, but it did not specify the area of usage. But he said we can apply perfume. So after that, you now have to shrink the dead body. Some people, it is after they might have shown the body, that is, they might have applied clothes before they put perfume. It's either the 2 is allowed. And if you put perfume all over the body, according to Sheikh Bumbaz, there's nothing wrong. The messenger will just say, apply perfume. So as much as you think that you can apply the perfume, just apply it. Then, don't let us make a mistake. Some people, they will be cutting fingernails, they will be removing the armpit ear, they will remove the private ear. All these are none of our business. Or removing the mustache is none of our business. We don't need to do all that. They are not allowed. We should leave the dead body as it is, except for women who plait our hair 3 times. After that is done. So the next thing is, for a man, we now use clothes to shrunk him. According to scholars, the best is 3 big clothes, 3 big wrappers, as it was used for the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our mother, the wife of the Prophet Aisha said, the messenger of Allah was shrouded with 3 big clothes, minus, he said, without wearing shirt for him or using turban. But to our surprise today, people used to create shirts and they will apply turban. It is not part of it. Though some scholars say, if it is still used, no problem, but it is not sunnah. But the sunnah is 3 clothes as it was used for the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So 3 big clothes. We use the first one to wrap him, the second one to wrap him, the third one, so that these 3 will cover his nudeness, his nudity, his nakedness. So it will not seem as if we use a cloth that we so transparent that we will be seeing the body of the corpse. It shouldn't be. Mind you, we are to use white clothes. White. The messenger of Allah says we should be using white clothes. Another hadith tradition says we should be putting on white clothes. Is that white clothes will remind us of our dead time. So the messenger of Allah used to apply white clothes for the corpse. So it is white that is expected. But what of when we don't see white? If there are circumstances when there is no white, we can use any clothes just to cover the body of the dead person. So the one used for the person for that is ثلاثة أثواب بيض ليس فيها قميص ولا علامة كما فعل بالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So it is three as it was used for the messenger of Allah. No shirt, no turban. So, but scholars say وَإِنْ كُفِنَ فِي الْقَمِيصِ وَإِزَارٍ وَلَفَافَ فَلَا بَأْسَ. If they put on shirt, what I mean by shirt, it is not normal shirt, but they wear it like a cloth that has neck without sleeve, just to put something on him, and they use a wrapper, and they use bigger wrapper to wrap him. No problem. So some make it 5, but the best is 3. So if it is 5 or 3, no problem. Well, wajib. What is compulsory? What is compulsory? Or that of, if it is of women, it is of woman rather, it is expected to be 5. What some scholars say, it also can be 3, because the messenger of Allah did not specify, did not separate or told us, he did not tell us that of women we should use 5 instead of 3. But scholars said it can be 3 or 5. Why they said 5 is that because the woman, their body has a lot of contours that if care is not taken, even when they have them, most time can still be tracing those contours outside the clothes. So that it will not be people that are supposed to feel sorry, to feel remorse when somebody like to feel believed, will still be feeling feeling joy at the sight of a corpse. But when 5 clothes are used, at least it will cover. Whichever, we can use 3, we can use 5. Scholars said if it is 5, it will be gown, cape, wrapper, and 2 big wrapper. If it is for women, it can be 1 gown, cape, wrapper, and 2 bigger wrapper that we use to wrap. And it can be 3 like that of man. والواجب في حق الجميع ثوب واحد يستوي جميع الميت. Even scholars say the compulsory thing is even a clothes that we cover the nakedness of. That is what is compulsory. Any clothes that will be bigger to cover the nakedness. And in some places, when they want to pray or when they want to, when they are to, after the shunting, they used to cover the woman with brown color. That is, after those white, they will now they will place brown on top to cover it, to show that this dead corpse that want to pray upon is a woman. Even in some places, you can have more than a corpse, 2, 3, due to incidents. So you can have men and women. So to differentiate the women from men, they used to spread brown color on them. There's nothing wrong in that. But the compulsory aspect is that you should use a very big white that can cover all the nakedness. So from 3 to 5. Wallahu a'lam. But if the dead person, the corpse, is a muhrim, that is somebody that dies at the Hajj, he or she is performing Hajj and he dies, that case is different. فإنه يغسل بماء وسط for him or her, because he dies at Hajj. You buy for him. What do you prefer? The special thing is that it is that ihram, that cloth of ihram, that cloth of Hajj that is on him or her that we use. Or we use other one. What are you grass? But we must not cover their face will not cover their face, their head will not be covered. So that is the person that dies at Hajj in Ihram will use his coat of Ihram to shield him, or will leave the head uncovered, be it man or woman. Wala wajha. Wala yutayyib, and will not use perfume on him. لأنه يجب في يوم القيامة ملبيا, because it will stand up on the day of resurrection saying لبيك اللهم لبيك, as is authentic from hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if it is a woman, وإن كان المحرم امرأة خلفت كغيرها. Scholar said, like Sheikh Bin Baz said, if it is a woman that dies in her ihram, we shouldn't her as other people. That means we have to cover the face, we shouldn't her normal, except that we will not apply scent, we will not apply perfume on her, and we will not use niqab for her if it is a woman under niqab. Whether you do the niqab, we will not use niqab for her. While I had and not that we will apply covers the glove on her. Whether you do the be careful. ولكن يغطي, but will cover her face. You know, in the case of woman now that dies at heart, will cover her face as normal for other who that dies. Will use the clothes to cover her face and the hand. But for the men, will leave the head uncovered, as it has explained. Like I've said it, that it is, if it, I don't know whether I get to this. If it is somebody that dies maybe out of sickness, dies on the road, dies, he or she sleeps and he did not wake up, those who show them normally with 3 or 5, every part of the body will be covered. But in the case of somebody that dies at Hajj, for the men who will leave the head uncovered and will use their ihram, their clothes at Hajj to show them. But in case of woman that dies at Hajj, will cover her normally. We use the normal, we can still use that Hajj clothes, but we will cover on our body with other clothes. And will not leave our face uncovered. We will not leave our hand uncovered, except that we will not use normal makeup that she uses or she used while alive and the glove. That's what we are saying, and that gives us best understanding of all this. But if it is a baby, because some of us did not know, this right has to be applied or to be paid for the baby too. May Allah protect us and our babies. If a baby is giving birth to, and that baby has formed, that is, it has been, it was after 4 months that has been completely human being. We can say that it's a boy or a girl. So if it is out of miscarriage, that we can say it has formed completely. Perform all these rules. We bath for him, we shund him or her, and we observe salat. So if it has completely formed, maybe after 8 months, after 9 months, it gives birth to and it dies, we bath and make every rice for him. Well, you can't feel sorry if you felt the wife, but that in this, it is only 1 cloth that is required. If you can use 3, no problem, but everybody can say that 1 cloth is enough. But you can't feel sorry if you combine. So we can put clothes on him and use other 2 clothes. But there's nothing wrong if you can use just 1 to wrap. You just need to wrap him. So that is, if it is a boy, 1 is enough. With a baby girl, we can use 3. 1 clothes on her and 2 bigger clothes. You know, bigger in the same posture. So please let us note that Some people, when they bereaved their baby, they just think the baby will just be thrown somewhere. No, we will perform the Islamic rite on the fetus. We will pray on him or her. Then the next one is I've said it.
Okay.
Those that are supposed to bath for the corpse.
Okay.
Wife is the best for the husband. Husband is best for the wife. After them, their children. Male to the father, female to the mother. When others cannot be, now talk of relatives, or you talk of the Muslim fellow. Or if that person has written it down or has said it, that when I die, some person should bath for me. That person is the best. After then, you talk of the relations. We have completed the shrund. That means we completed the bathing.
No.
We have completed the shrund now. Some people would think, but we used to shrund with rope. 7 for women, 9 for men. All these are ijtihadul strong. These scholars, they fashion out that, so that they think using that rope to shrund will make it easy for us to carry. It should not be that by the time we are carrying the corpse from one stage to another, the clothes we use will now be removed from the body. But if we use rope out of the clothes, that's the white clothes, out of it we make it rope to solidify the rope. So that of 9 would be 9, that of 1 would be 7. 9 or 7, there's no reference for that. Even if we use no rope. If we know how to do it well, we can only knot it on it, and we knot it at the leg, and if we do it well. So only what we need it is that when we are moving it, when we are cleaning it, the clothes on the corpse will not be removed. So any method that we can use that will not make it to remove is allowed. It's allowed. So the idea of 7 or 9 is not sunnah. So because it's a woman, it must be 7. Because it's a man, 9. So if you want to use rope, it can be 3. If you want to use rope, it can be 2. If you want to use it can be 5. And if perhaps it is 9, no problem. But don't think it is sunnah you are doing. No, it is woman, it must be 7. No. That of woman can be 9. That of man can be 7. It depends on, it's as if it is solidified so that you can easily carry cups. So we have completed the shortening. So the next thing is dafn. Is how to put the cups in the graves. That's the next thing. No, I'm sorry. The next thing is how to observe Salah. How to observe Salah. We have bath, we have showered, so the next one is Salah. Salah planning. So in the Salah, it's very simple. Everything about the Salah will be done on standing. There is no adhan, no call to prayer, there is no iqamah. We don't say somebody should call for adhan or somebody should say iqamah. And everything will be done on standing. It requires 4 takbirat. But we have a tradition where the Messenger of Allah makes 5 takbirat. We have another tradition where he makes so many takbirat. But the ideal is 4. How is it done? The first one, the Imam will say, we observe safu, we observe lines, normal lines in the salat, and it is better to make it 3, at least 3, 5, 7, like that. But we should try to make it 3 because of the traditions that talked about 3 lines. And let us all try to perform this janaza to give our brothers or our sisters that died, to give them our time. The Messenger of Allah says anybody that dies, and 40 people that did not involve in shirk, 40 people that did not involve in shirk, praise on him, Allah will accept their intercession for him. You know, our prayer we make, we are interceding for him. Allah will accept it. If 40 people so if 500, 1,000, more than that numbers of people pray on a person, if Allah Allah's man, we can have at least 40 people that know associate partner with Allah. When may Allah forgive us. The Muslims nowadays only allow those the real Muslims. Many of Muslims are still associated partner with God directly and indirectly. And that's why I think we have this sort of oneness of Allah and associated partner with him. If we have not, inshallah, I think our producers will be considering that for discussion next time. Because those that can pray or the ones that intercede for him and Allah will grant paradise, but that not associate partner with God. If a person is good upon Allah, we are 40 that not associate partner with God, that person will enter paradise. So please let us all the time give our time and make our soul to be free at least. Now, the Imam will stand, if it is a man, will stand at the position of his head. The Imam will stand at the position of his head. They will line up those men. If you have women, those women will line up behind those small ones. It is allowed that both men and women observe Salat Janaza. And it is more required to be observed in the mosque. The scholars have said, well, you can find that in the book of Al-Imam Al-Albani, Kitab al-Genesis Al-Albani, and that of Sheikh Mubaz and many of our shuyukh, that initially, the companion, when anybody dies, the Messenger of Allah will go to that person, to wherever that person dies. But later, the companion will say that it is becoming more stressful for the messenger, that he has to come to any year, any Muslim dies. So they later have opened that the messenger of Allah should stay in his house, and they used to bring the corpse to him. And the corpse would breathe upon him. After the demise of the Prophet of Allah, somebody died. Told the mother, please bring the corpse to I can pray on him. So our mother was also in the mosque, observing that salah. So all this, I don't know why especially in Africa, we don't practice the ideal approach in Islam. The ideal approach in Islam is that you can bring corpse into the mosque. But you know what happens in Africa? They believe that if corpse is being brought to the mosque, maybe people in the mosque will be dying gradually and one after the other. It is a bad notion. It is a bad notion. And it is not in Islam.
Inshallah.
Against the Tawheed.
Inshallah.
Against Sunnah.
So sorry to break in. Okay, sorry to break in. Inshallah. I saw my producer has been giving me a kind of note that we have spent more than an hour now. I don't know if I can take this permission by saying, can we have the last episode, if possible, or is it going to be more than that? Can we have more one episode to conclude? That one should be a concluding part of the janaza, or can we still have more than that? That's my question to you, sir.
Hopefully, the next episode can surface us. Hopefully.
Oh, okay. Inshallah. Okay. Now, inshallah, maybe we are going to end it on this topic for today because of our time, and so that I can ask you just one or two questions before I let you go. People have been calling, but I was just trying to cut off the calls. They were calling directly to the line. So, but I've sent message to some that they should just send the messages. So I've received some questions that we need to ask. Inshallah, the next episode will come up by next month. Inshallah, Bikratullah. By that one will be a concluding part of this topic we are discussing, that is Islamic perspective on Jana, is part 3. Inshallah, that will be the concluding part. Inshallah, Bikratullah, with our Sheikh Luqman Harashi Alalika Abu Abdurrahman. We really appreciate Jazakumullah Khairan for giving us your time to be on the show today. Before I let you go, as I've said earlier on, there are a lot of questions here, but I will rather ask for maybe 2 or 3 questions to round it up within 2 or 3 minutes, inshallah. So the first question. So the listeners asked this question and said, if all the keys by dead man, the man that died,